Meanwhile, in a rare move, the United Nations General Assembly has now adopted a resolution that will require an explanation for exercising veto powers. Under the new mandate, every time a veto has been cast in the Security Council, the Assembly will be convened automatically within 10 working days. The UNGA resolution requires the 5 permanent members of the Security Council, the United States, China, Russia, France and the United Kingdom, to explain the reason for their vetoes at the UN General Assembly. Welcoming the resolution, many council members said that veto power is not a privilege but a responsibility. Russia's representative Gennady Kuzmin, on the other hand, said that he had no desire to join in with the consensus. 83 countries co-sponsored the reform, including the United States, Britain and France. However, neither Russia nor China were among the sponsors. The reform was first proposed more than 2 years ago and was only revived by Russia's ongoing offensives in Ukraine due to Moscow's veto power. The Security Council has proven incapable of condemning Russia's invasion of Ukraine. The resolution was seen as an attempt to discourage Russia's use of its own veto power. Moscow has exercised the right more than 20 times since the year 2010, which is more than any other permanent member of the UN Security Council. And now listen in to what Ukraine's ambassador of the UN had to say on this recent move.
Mr. President, Ukraine is proud to be among main co-sponsors of the resolution adopted today. This resolution is of particular relevance and importance for Ukraine and other member states who uphold the UN Charter and its principles. The mechanism adopted today is clear and transparent. It's not politicized or selective. It will be invoked automatically each time when the Security Council is paralyzed by veto.
It must be noted that the text is non-binding and nothing prevents a country that has used its veto from declining to explain its actions to the General Assembly, and that is what India flagged when it called for wider reforms within the Security Council. Raising concerns on the West-led initiative of limiting the UNSC veto, India pointed out that there are already mechanisms in place. Members can convene discussions on an emergency basis on issues that reach a so-called stalemate in the Security Council. India suggested that the Council should be made more representative by including more underrepresented voices, adding that either all members should have the veto power or no one.
The privilege of using the veto has been vested to only 5 member states. The UN General Assembly can do very little about it, as effectively the P5 have a veto over the veto. As rightly called out by our African brothers and sisters, it goes against the concept of sovereign equality of states and only perpetuates the mindset of the Second World War. To the victor belongs the spoils. Either all nations are treated equally in the context of voting rights, or else the new permanent members must also be given the veto. All 5 permanent members have used the veto over the last 75 years to achieve their respective political ends. In this regard, let me flag what our African brothers and sisters have repeatedly stated in the IGN. I quote, "The veto as a matter of principle should be abolished. However, as a matter of common justice, it should be extended to new permanent members so long as it continues to exist." Unquote.
It's, on the Security Council, we have our plan. The problem is we need to have other people to have a plan which is similar to our plan. Correct.
WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.